Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 4 of Yankees Mania. Honestly, again, not much to talk about. The league has really done absolutely nothing since the start of the new year, which apparently we were supposed to have new labor talks, but we are still at a standstill. And the only thing this is really doing is making baseball look absolutely terrible. The NFL is currently gearing up for a postseason push. The NBA is doing very well right now. You have superstars coming back. I just don't. It's tough for me because it's really tough because baseball is the only sport out there that genuinely seems like they have absolutely no idea what the hell they're doing. It is an absolute disgrace. Nothing. They won't agree. I'm at the point where I'm genuinely wondering whether or not the season is going to start on time. I always thought revenue maybe would get both sides to the table, but at this point, it's just it just seems like both sides have no idea what they're doing. Manfred, all these people care about is money, and it's so obvious, and that's totally fine. I understand it's a business, but it really is tough to watch as someone who's a fan of the game, and I'm sure there's many baseball fans out there, that especially now is that there's no hot stove. There's nothing. It's a baseball town. New York is a baseball town, and the fact that we have absolutely nothing to talk about baseball-wise is really, really distressing. That honestly goes into the lockout that we're talking about here. One topic I'd like to discuss is apparently one of the top reporters in baseball, who I happen to be a pretty significant fan of, Ken Rosenthal. He was fired from MLB Network reportedly by ESPN because of basically, I'm just trying to describe this. It angers me so much that I have to find the correct verbiage to use here. But basically, Ken Rosenthal was fired because he criticized Rob Manfred, and what that meant to me was, again, to be fair, Ken is still a reporter for The Athletic. He still is a reporter on Fox Sports. He just won't be featured on MLB Network, which I think is unbelievable. But my point is, him being released from or cut basically by MLB Network shows to me that MLB Network is basically state-run TV. I had no idea, but I had no idea that MLB and MLB Network were the same thing. I had no clue that Rob Manfred was giving orders to MLB Network on personnel. But apparently I was wrong, so that kind of ruined my childhood, considering I honestly thought that everyone on MLB Network said what they wanted to say. But now, obviously, that ruins the credibility of the station for me. It's a station, but it's a credibility hit that you're firing reporters because they're criticizing the commissioner. And it's not like the MLB has had anything to say about it. I don't believe they've even released a statement regarding this. And Ken was a professional, of course, but I just think it's an absolute disgrace. And Manfred has to get, and he's not going to go because the owners like him, which is, of course, is a problem in itself. But Manfred won't go. You want to talk about some of the problems this dude's had since he's become commissioner? It's an absolute disgrace. You've seen teams that are, and again, one of the parts of the lockout that's a big problem right now is there's so many teams that are just remarkably bad, and they just don't care. Teams like the Pirates owner, he should be expelled from the league. These people don't care about winning. Teams like Baltimore, what are they doing? They're terrible. They lose 100 games year in and year out. To be fair to them, though, at least they made the playoffs a few years ago. The Pirates have been brutal for the last 50 years. You're ruining a generation of fans who could have been big baseball fans, but these teams are just not competitive. It's tough to get into it. Listen, the Yankees weren't very good growing up. I don't know if I'd be a baseball fan. They're just not. Listen, the Yankees have not won a World Series in the last decade, but they're competitive every single year, year in and year out. But this is just disgraceful. But that's just the one thing. Number two, obviously, and for me, the biggest issue is the way he handled the Houston Astros cheating scandal. No punishments for the players whatsoever. Again, that really hurt, considering the Yankees, of course, were the ones that were screwed in 2 years by them, in my opinion. So, again, it's just such an absolute joke, these people. I think something has to be done. They need a rebranding, MLB, because they just look absolutely terrible. They look like they have no idea what they're doing. They don't care about the fans. That's what my perspective is. They don't care about the fans. They just don't know what they're doing. I mean, that's really, and I'm just obviously I'm not very happy about this. It's an absolute joke, but at this point, all we can do is raise our hands and pray to God that there's a baseball season in 2022. Because if there's not, then I honestly don't know if the sport's going to survive, because it's not the time to be locked out right now in the sport world. It's just not going to work. So hopefully next week we will have something to talk about. Hopefully that MLB gets their head out of their asses along with the Players Association, and we can hopefully start talking some hot stove here in 2022. I hope everyone has a great day, and hopefully I will see you next time.